back to another art video, and I want to do art here on YouTube. Multiple different things, capsules, the dudes, Rochelle, and other things of that nature. But I thought that was a mouse. It was a bird. Sorry, I was distracted for like 2 seconds. But every day 11 a.m. EST. Hopefully you will hit the like, comment, and subscribe buttons. And there's a bee. Oh my god. Anyway, I don't know what we'll be doing in this particular video. We won't be doing any dudes. I haven't done any dudes. Somebody gave me a recommendation for some that they wanted to see, but I haven't. I'd have to wait till I'm home to actually do those. So, out here in the Everglades, there's like a tree like growing underneath the table. It's crazy. Trying to see what we could do. You know, I don't know what to do in this situation. It's just, you know, just these two receptacles, and we got those going. I feel like they're like all the same lines. You know, only this seems like a nightmare wish that I'm about to say. I'm about to say, like, if only summer could go on forever, and then we get the episode of Twilight Zone where it's like nothing but sun. You know, that was crazy. You know, that's not summer, bro. That's extreme heat. There's a difference. Like, there's not even a vague difference between the two. There's like a very clear alternating experience between the two, and I think that we all know what that is. We all are aware of what that is. At least some of us are. You ever just be like excited to play like some games, and then you actually start playing them, and you're like, well, this is kind of stressful. I would say that wasn't always the case, but to some degree it kind of always was. There's like a really tiny bug. I don't know what the hell that is. Better not be a bed bug, I know that much. Enjoy the wonderful sounds of the birds, please. They're doing bird things. The birds are birding. Alright, what would I use for this? Let me just do an outline. Like, I just do an outline of it. I feel like now this is like more blue. I feel like next to the blue ink, this is more blue. That's weird. Even though it's always been like a purple. Oh wait, this is not a jot. This is ink. Why did I say it was jot? Last video, he said it was jot. This video, we determined he's a liar. Listen, if you pay attention to anything that I say, you know that I don't lie. Alright. I just parentheses, and when I'm done parenthesesing, it's gonna be kaput. Alright, so we just do like a light version of each of the colors because I'm really intelligent with this, as you will see in a moment. And then we'll put a little bit of darkness to some parts of this. Alright, and in the back we will do a light green for the tree, and then we'll darken it afterwards. Like this book definitely not meant to be like a sketchbook, whatever, but I thought it was cute. So I had to get it, man. You don't understand. And it was cheap too. It was cheap, cute, and it had no reviews. So I was afraid. I was like, yo, they're gonna send me some garbage, or they're not gonna send nothing. And then this came. I was like, oh my god. They really hooked me up. They really gave me that. They really gave me that tang. You know, they really set me off proper. So I feel like, and we're gonna mix both colors with like a pink, I think, on the top part. Pink or yellow, I don't know. Let's do pink. We get it like cross. And I think for the bottom part we do another pink as well. If you've made it so far that you've been hearing the planes, put a plane emoji in the comments. Some lunatic is gonna be like, that's business, that's commerce. Shut up, you dope. Or rather not, don't shut up. Just write it. Just write it out. Write out your essay in the comments so that I could read it. I could read it and feel guilty about denying the reality that you proposed. Just a little bit of this. Yeah, like you ever just play like a game and just be like, man, now I'm anxious. Like certain games I'd be like, oh, I'm excited to play. Like I feel like I wanted that one game, was it Dungeon Encounters? Like I was like, oh man, I wanted this for years since it came out. And then I played, I'm like, bro, this game is not the most fun game, you know. I thought it was gonna be more like, I don't know, Might and Magic or something. Even though I've never played Might and Magic, I was like, I was gonna play like Might and Magic, like Eye of the Beholder on the Game Boy Advance or something like that. No, it's very much different than that. In fact, it's so much different than that that is like, there are like strategies on how to like beat it, but they're like all the same, and it's kind of whack. I think that that's like super whack, and I don't know, maybe I just did something wrong. More airplane. Maybe I did something wrong. Maybe I didn't do something right, but I feel like if I had it on my phone, it'd be a funner game. Like I hate to say that, like I feel like it's like a phone kind of game. It's not really something that's like highly involving, because you can really take your time with that game, and really go through that game real slow, and take your ever-loving time, you know, just step by step, making sure that nobody dies. But that's also kind of boring, and it is funny to like kind of make guesses and run through certain parts of the map without knowing what's going on, and then you get to a spot where you're kind of like just walled off by how strong the enemies are. And I think that could be fun, but the problem becomes like, how do you deal with that? You know, like, how do you deal with like, alright, I'm at the higher level, but I don't have good stuff, or my character is not doesn't know any moves or doesn't have a good enough attack or something. And it's like, yeah, you could end up like that. But the main problem is not even that most of the time. The main problem is not walking into a crazy ambush. And certain parts of the map, like, you learn are not real. So you could, like, avoid them. And I think that in itself is a testament to what goes on in that game. Like, you don't need to worry about too much, because the things that happen in that game are pretty special, I guess. Pretty spectacular. But running through the levels and not fighting anything is funny, because you could get pretty far. If you get lucky enough, you could get pretty far. But eventually you will hit a wall, and then you have to fight. But it was one of the games that I was excited to play, and I'm not so excited anymore. Like, I feel like maybe like a more like, because it's already kind of like a text-based game. I feel like an even more text-based game would be better to play. I feel like the main thing for that game that would really like make it more interesting, I guess, is like obviously like the achievement system, like getting all the achievements. Outside of that, the game itself to me is just very underwhelming and lacks any of the initial depth that I thought it had. I'm glad that I got it on sale, like, for really cheap. Otherwise, it would have been, much more of a painful experience dealing with that, because it's just not what you think. It's just not what you think it is. And it could be what you think it is, but it just chooses not to. So that's also another unfortunate part of it, is that it's not as good as I want it to be. And it could be so much better. It could be as good as I want and so much better. But let's just take one good look at this. And if you are a fan of the channel, if you like the art, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I read every comment, reply to every comment, and I will see you again soon in the next one. It's a trash can and a recycle can and some flowers and stuff. Wait, can we zoom in? Look. Oh my lord. Alright, thank you, and have a good rest of your day. Bye.